Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again, another reaction for you guys. Today, guys, of course, we are continuing the journey of X-Men Evolution. This is Season 2, Episode 8, African Storm. Now, with that title, I'm assuming that the focus of this episode is going to be on Storm, who, unfortunately, and I will say, it's kind of a critique in my personal opinion when I'm thinking about X-Men Evolution so far in terms of what the show has accomplished. I feel like Storm has been underused in this show so far. And I get it, because the focus is really on the teens, almost adults in high school, Scott, Cyclops, Jean, Jean Grey, and Kurt, Nightcrawler, Kitty, and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like Storm, who was in the first episode of the show and everything, and set up as kind of a right hand person, essentially, the right hand to the whole Xavier Institute, it seemed, in terms of, Professor X and everything. But she's not really been used that much, so I'm guessing with the title, she's going to be the focus of this episode, which is exciting for me because I love Storm as a character. Of course, I loved her in the 90s animated series I grew up on, and I like Storm, so far that we've seen in the show, but we really haven't seen enough of her in my personal opinion. And it's kind of also a double-edged sword at the same time, because if we were to get more of Storm, that means we get less of other characters that I'm really enjoying in the show as well. So it's really a balancing act, but I wish Storm was featured more. Maybe this is a sign that they're going to remedy this, at least in my personal opinion, because I want to see more Storm. I want to see more of certain characters that just really haven't appeared much, and she's one of them. So we'll see what happens. Last week's episode on Angel's Wings was a great episode. Now, actually, I filmed that a little while ago, so it's been more than a week for me, but I still remember that episode, and I was finishing editing tonight as I'm now recording this. I was finishing editing that one, and I'm like, this is a really good episode. So I'm back on the high now, because Adrift episode 6 was okay, but now I got my hopes up high now again for X-Men Evolution. So please continue the trend of really good episodes. Let's dive into now, guys. Let's check out African Storm. Let's go. Some kind of ritual, I'm guessing.
The night winds have finally answered my pleas.
The night winds?
Our wandering goddess has been found. We will claim her once again, and Africa will be mine!
Oh, that Storm? Yep, okay. Oh. Oh, I forgot about this, that she's been kind of flirting with Scott a little bit.
Hi, guys.
It's kind of awkward.
Good, I guess. No easy classes.
Principal Kelly.
Hey.
What's up?
Stormcatcher. Computer, begin.
Oh, man, really?
What's supposed to attack them? Exactly. Ooh. You gotta protect her, come on. There you go. Toxic gas, I'm guessing.
Storm?
We covered smoke screens just last
Oh,
week.
smoke screen, sorry. I thought it was like poisonous gas would have been worse.
What to do?
Ooh. How you can get her out?
Get me out of here!
I'm guessing she cannot use her powers. Now she just tried to. Ooh.
The smoke screen threw me.
Well,
Go. Leave. Don't blame me for that, Box.
so the box was surprising too for her, which means something else is at play here. They knew how to track her. Yeah. You want to get out of there.
Sorry.
Oh.
I get
The
that a
same.
lot these days.
No, don't worry. It's not you.
Evan's progress report.
And here I thought we were reaching him.
I am having serious doubts that he is reachable.
That's a little negative, but, I mean, mistake. Get inside. I want to get inside. Could it all be in her head, though? Like, are they actually there?
Aurora, are you okay?
No.
Someone was in here.
I don't know.
Nothing. Could this have something to do with Evan?
Maybe.
Yeah, but it's
He's
more
been
than
quite
that.
a handful lately.
I know he has. It was clearly a mistake to remove him from his parents.
What are you saying?
Okay.
Best thing for Evan and for you is to have your sister come and take him home.
Perhaps you're right.
I knew it. Something's gonna be in the mirror. Does she know what it is now?
What happened?
Aurora, you all right?
Is
No.
there anything we can do?
No, thank you. I'll be fine.
He's backing up.
Then you know.
Yeah, I know. When's she coming for me? I better get to school so I can clean out my locker.
God. It's not his fault, though. I mean, he's not doing good right now, but no, it ain't him.
I'm telling you, the woman's seriously starting to lose it. As if she doesn't have it tough enough dealing with a claustrophobia. What? How'd you know about that? You know, it's just gossip.
Okay, okay.
I've seen her stuff.
Okay.
I'm really starting to worry.
You're giving up without a fight, man. Come on, let's go to
I
the
mean,
professor and
it's
ask
already
for
been
another
decided.
chance. Why do you even care? It's really no big deal.
It's a big deal. He's just dumping everything in the trash. Damn.
Sorry, Mr. McCoy. You okay?
All the new kids. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. Well, I guess that means I'm your sub. And I've got just the activity for you.
Okay.
Self-restraint. The
Oh,
goal's
okay.
Simple. Volleyball with no powers.
No powers. No powers. Mm-mm.
Way you can hit that hard without your powers.
Oh boy.
Flashback, maybe? Maybe? Yeah. Okay, so it's the same. She brought water and everything. Okay. They praised her as a god or a goddess. Yeah. Cool shot. That's a cool shot.
Don't run away! Evan!
Was that really him, though? Was it a trick? I bet it was a trick. Visuals.
Mirambo!
You must turn back.
Yep. This is bad. Okay. This makes more sense now. Oh, he actually is leaving. Okay. They can't fight her. I don't think.
No! Let me out!
A box again. Okay. Claustrophobic. Yep.
Your spirit has been broken, Wind Rider.
Wind Rider.
I can take it from you.
What?
Where is your power now, goddess?
Did he really take her powers? Ooh, but that guy's trying to help, I think.
I won't ask twice.
I believe this man has answers we need. Where is the Hungan holding her?
In a crate aboard his
Yep.
ship, the Unyoka.
Yep.
Watch your back!
Exactly. Nice. Watch it. Watch it. Nice move. That was good. He's like, what? What just happened? Oh, shit. That was good. Okay. Okay.
You're too late.
Watch it. Watch it. He's fucking pissed. Oh, now he's in control of her. Okay. Yeah, this is showing how deadly she can really be with her powers. Okay, you train for this. Ooh. Nice hit. Okay.
Here's more than you can handle!
Oh my god.
I guess I'm ready to go, Mom.
You're not
Evan,
going
we were
anywhere.
just discussing that.
Yeah.
Your aunt feels that things might be different if you were given another chance.
I mean, I am your number one
He's
pupil.
like,
from
he already
this
threw all that
grade
stuff
four.
away, though,
No
in the
doubt.
trash for school. And there you have it, guys. And I was right. This was focused on Storm throughout this whole episode. And also Evan, Spike as well, a little bit. But more so about Storm and her past, which they show a little bit of. But they really don't dive too much into what exactly happened. They basically give you the main gist of why the Hungan, I think that's the name that they said, the main guy who was going after Storm and everything, and was saying, after 10 years, I'm going to take the Wind Rider or whatever, like the powers or whatever, and he succeeded for a moment, right? But we see in the flashback briefly, like, essentially the main beat of what happened. So when she was younger, she showcased her powers, her abilities, Storm, and showcased, what she can do in terms of bringing water and everything to the village. And so they tore down his statue, essentially, and resurrected hers. And that makes sense now when you see the opening of the episode and think back on what happened. And he's burning her statue that they erected for her. He's burning it because he's essentially saying, I'm going to take what I guess he thinks is rightfully his in terms of her mutant abilities. I'm not sure. But that's basically what that was occurring there. He was revealing himself or kind of coming out of hiding, but he was in a tent or something. Like he was in like a hut or whatever, comes out and they're all like shocked, and he burns the statue. Now, throughout the episode, when we're actually there at the mansion, even at the school, there's all this mist. And it kind of ties into the actual kind of plot in terms of the training session that Storm and Spike have, where a part of it is smoke, like smoke screen, not what was it called, smoke screen, but basically, smoke grenades or whatever, like essentially like that kind of thing where he has to listen to kind of detect where she is. And when he finally gets through that little section, she's put into a box and her claustrophobia basically takes over and she, passes out or whatever and she can't get out of it. But she finally destroys it, but, it took a lot of power out of her. And she's like, well, what happened though? You should have been able to save me. He's like, I didn't activate the box. She's like, neither did I. And that is implying that the tribe is already there to take her back. The ones that are following Hungan. I thought at first that was the tribe name, but apparently that's the guy's name. If I'm mispronouncing that or something or it's wrong, apologize for that. Apologies, whatever word. But you get what I'm saying. So I think it was really well done in terms of showcasing how this is really affecting her, because you're seeing the shadows and everything after the training session. And then, of course, she's seeing the skull kind of painted onto the mirror when she's going to go take a bath. And she shuts down and everything. I'm thinking at this point she kind of knows what's going on here and who that is. Because if she thinks back, and she clearly thought back on what happened in terms of her village and everything, and how she was basically seen and praised as a goddess, essentially a god, if you will, because of her abilities, and how he was kind of replaced essentially by her, that I think she knew by the skull that this is what was happening. You hear all these voices, like these weird, like creepy sounds or whatever, and it was really affecting her. And also they were kind of tying into where Evan is having trouble at school. He's been having trouble for quite a bit. Like they've been kind of setting this up a little bit. And even at the X Mansion, where school-wise he's not doing so well. X Mansion, at one point they said like, can we even really rely on you? This was like episodes ago, because he was late to a training session and everything, and they failed because they thought, well, if he was there we could have actually completed this mission. And so they've been building this up quite some time, that Evan has been kind of not doing well at either school or being an X-Men essentially. So it wasn't too out of the normal for them to kind of maybe say, well, maybe Evan's the issue here, when actually it's more of a bigger problem. Now, she was finally captured. Evan, I thought it was a vision when he was actually skating away at night and in the mist and everything, and of course she's like being chased or whatever. I thought it was a vision, because I'm like, okay, well, maybe she's seeing things or whatever, and that really wasn't him. It's a trick, but it actually was him leaving. She gets captured, and she starts using her powers, but they still dart her in the neck. So they still had a way to at least knock her out. Now, when she's in that box, once again, in a small box, I'm thinking that, she's going to find a way to bust out. But no, she kind of breaks down and just stops. And then there's the guy over her, and he has this staff. And you see like this white mist or whatever come out, her soul essentially. Now, I thought when that occurred that he had got her powers, that maybe he was able to harness her abilities. But I'm thinking no, because if that's the case, then this completely changes everything in terms of the X-Men kind of lore as we know it, that there is a way to take away mutant abilities. Of course, that was part of X-Men 3, The Last Stand movie, where there was a mutant that was able to cure other mutants with his abilities. But if this was a thing to where he could actually steal her powers, then essentially this staff could take anybody's powers. But no, he took her soul, which was addressed, and then she's there floating with her kind of eyes all white and everything, like she's using her powers, but she's completely not there. She's under the control of him, and so he finally got what he wanted. And I love how Wolverine, I love this so much. When they find out what's going on or whatever, and they go to the harbor, and they go to the, then they find the guy who's actually a part of the tribe that's actually trying to help, because he tried to stop her earlier and she just kept running, but he was trying to help out. I love how when they're all there talking to him and realizing what's going on, and then she's on the ship over here, Wolverine, Logan gets so mad because he's so protective. He's so protective of his team, and protective especially of the people that he cares about, which of course is this team. He's so protective of them. So literally, when he found out that she's been taken, he has her abilities, or has her soul essentially, he freaking loses his mind. Team up, we're going right now. And he just runs in screaming. He's aggressive, but I love that about him. I love this. I mean, Wolverine, a lot of the times in comics, is really protective of everybody in terms of the people he cares about, the X-Men. But I love how it's being portrayed here, because these are not like kind of all the same ages. Obviously, Logan is way older than everybody else, but normally the X-Men team is usually around the same age, majority of them. Some of these, like the majority of the X-Men, are still teens in high school. So whenever there's been an issue in the past with, like, say, Jean or somebody else, like with the Blob taking Jean or whatever, or any episode where a member of the X-Men has been taken or something's really bad happening, and they're one of the younger X-Men, he gets really protective, and to see that he's across the board the same with everybody, I love that. I love that about this version of Logan. It's really cool to see that. It was great that Spike was able to be the one to kind of hear and figure out where he's at to destroy the kind of orb or whatever part of the staff that had her soul, and then she was able to wind tunnel him away. I don't think this implies that, this could be done, essentially, because essentially these guys could come back. They could potentially come back and, whatever. But I don't know. I don't know if they will. I don't know. I feel like this might be one of those things to where we kind of build Aurora and Evan's dynamic, their relationship, because for a bit it's been kind of strained and it's been kind of an issue. So I'm thinking this might be a way to improve said relationship. Hopefully, right? Hopefully. One other thing too that really occurred in this episode that I thought was interesting. Well, actually two things. I just thought about another one. But we'll get to the first one, the more important one, at least in my opinion, is we got a little bit more of Mystique. Well, Rogue's friend. But Mystique. She actually drops and basically shows her hand a little bit, where they're having a discussion about her or whatever, because this was after the occurrence of the tub situation where the water just kept running and she's just completely out of it, and it's now seeping through the floor onto the next level where the water is kind of dripping down. So Rogue's talking about it, and then Mystique, the friend, she goes, oh, the claustrophobic, she's claustrophobic or the claustrophobia, and she's like, well, what? She's like, oh, somebody else must have mentioned that or something, and she walks away, and Rogue's like, I think she's starting to realize maybe something's going on here, but she doesn't. It cuts to that point, but she kind of showed her hand a little bit there. Mystique said a little too much there. One last thing too is the fact that Scott was sitting with this girl, and this girl has flirted with Scott in a previous episode, and Jean was kind of nearby and saying, "Oh, what color eyes you got?" And it was awkward. And it's also compounding on the fact that she's also uncomfortable with and was kind of annoyed, clearly. And I even talked about this, I even paused the episode last week for this, where Rogue gave Scott, Cyclops, a gift for Christmas. She was really annoyed by that. Jean was. So Jean, once again, is a little bit awkward around them because he's sitting with this girl, and she's like, well, I wonder where Duncan is, and then it's one of those things where Jean needs to just either just let it go that Scott is talking to other girls and just hanging out, whatever, or get with him. Either or, Jean, you can't sit there and you can have feelings for Scott, but you need to actually maybe address that versus ignoring it or getting really frustrated that, he's talking to other people, or at least he's communicating with other people of the opposite sex, and she's getting really upset over that. She's getting annoyed by it. You need to address your feelings, really. That's what needs to happen here. Oh, one final thing is I thought it was kind of cool to see all the new recruits, the new mutants that have joined the X-Mansion. They were all kind of there. And then, of course, everything went into chaos when Beast was trying to sub in for Storm, giving a lesson, and they're in the danger room and they just go crazy because they don't restrain themselves after playing a little bit of volleyball without using powers. Everything goes to hell in a handbasket. I hope we get to see more of them because we don't really get to see much of them. But then again, it's once again back to my point I was saying in the intro about how Storm doesn't get enough focus, but yet we're getting a lot of focus of other characters. But it's like, now I also want the focus to be on some of the new characters because we're seeing bits and pieces of them. We're not really getting focus on them, so I'm hoping that changes. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to this episode. This was pretty good. I'm glad that we got focus on Storm and everything and a little bit of her past. I wish we would have seen more of it, but it's okay. But yeah, it was good to see Storm get more of a highlight in this episode. That's really, to me, that's a pretty good big bonus in my opinion. A pretty good positive. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.